Hi, I'm Bonnie Jewell, and this is Quantum Health Revolution. I have spent the past 30 plus years figuring out how to safely get off medications, and I'm now in better health than 98 or 99% of the people in my age group. And I'm 55, and I'm probably healthier than people younger than me. And I want to help you do the same. Most people are barking up the wrong tree. I want to help you bark up the right tree and have some reality about what it takes and what it doesn't take in order to get to that place. I want you to be as healthy as you can possibly be. So I will tell you that one of the things that people think they have to do is have more knowledge or more food or more variety. So there's so much to unpack. To start with, one of the most important things you can do is use food to heal yourself. And one of the challenges with that is that for one person, something really works for them. For example, drinking milk for acid reflux or different concoctions for acid reflux. And I have seen across the board that a lot of times one person will say that works, and then another person says it triggers them. It triggers the acid reflux. It does not help them long term. It might put a band-aid on it, but it doesn't take care of the long-term problem. It actually aggravates. And so sometimes the band-aid that we're putting on aggravates it. And the easiest solution I know to use is to use muscle response testing, to just go in and say, is this one that you can, if you know how to muscle test yourself, I have a video on that, but to muscle test yourself, you poke where you're irritated. So usually it's right about there when you're got acid reflux, right around there. You might feel it going up your throat, but right there is where the little flap is that opens up. And so you can just test it. It's probably weak. I'm baking it because mine's nice and healthy right now. And so that one, you have acid reflux, it's weak, then, okay, let me think how to do this. Yeah, if it's weak, then you can find the remedy. So say you have found a remedy for it, something to help it get strong. So you have the remedy on you, and then you take the milk. I don't have any props with me for that. We'll use a coaster. This is milk. Okay, so I have a coaster and I'm going to pretend that's milk. So I have my finger on my stomach where it would bother me and it goes weak. I'm messing it up. Okay, start over. Okay. So put your finger on your stomach and it's strong because you're on supplements that are helping strengthen your stomach. And then you take milk and you put it in within 2 feet of your body because your body's got that energetic field around it. You put it within 2 feet of your body. I'm gonna place it right here so you can see it and still touching the tummy. And then it would go weak. And that would tell me long term, it's not going to be working well for me. And so that is the easiest way. Like, I can't even tell you how, like, that just makes life so much easier to know how to do that because then I can just check it. But if you're not going to learn how to muscle test or you don't know how, or there's so much to unpack about that. But if you're not muscle testing, then what you can do is you can create your food log, and you got to be careful with it because you need to, and you should have a food log anyway, because you want to write down everything that you've been eating or drinking, ingesting. And then, especially with stomach, you would also want to check what you've been around. Like paint makes me sick. Wall paint, like somebody's painting a wall, that will make me sick to my stomach because of the toxins in there. And there's so much. And paint today, they make it so it's unscented. I had somebody come to my office and she's like, I'm so sick and I don't know why, and all my symptoms are flaring up and I'm using this paint, but it doesn't have a smell. And we're tricked into thinking there's no problem because there's no smell warning us off. However, it's still toxic. And I checked her using quantum response testing, muscle testing, and sure enough, she had tons of toxicity in there. She started taking the remedy and was feeling better, and then started keeping the windows open. And so a lot of time what we do is we make it way more complicated because she thought, oh, everything's failing in my body and something new is going on and I have a new issue. And it's, oh, actually, your body's just redirected from helping your body operate to this toxin that you have. And there I went off on a little tangent. So circling back to food, one of it is toxins do way more damage than most people realize, especially if you can't see it or you can't taste it. Like so much damage. Okay. Now back to somebody tells you this is going to work. You don't know that it's going to work, or it feels like it works because there's a little band-aid. And you can use muscle response testing to figure that out for yourself, to see if it's actually right. Or you can do your food log. And the rule of thumb is don't change a lot. Notice whatever it is, because if you change two things, it could be one of those two things, or it could be a third thing. It could be both those things together bother you. And so the thing that it takes in reality for getting your health on track, which most people do not want to do, they're not willing to do it. It takes too much time, effort, thought, reflection, discipline. So what you do is you write it down and then you track 5 days. It can take 5 days. There's my cat. I don't know if you can hear him. What's going on, Pepper? I don't know. So it can take 5 days for you to have your symptoms show up. 5 days. How many? 5. Most people will say, what did I just eat? What did I eat last night? Even what did I have 2 days ago? Most people do not go back 5 days. 5 days. Somebody can explain that to me. I have not figured that out scientifically, why that happens, but there's got to be something. If you have the answer to that, please let us know below. So your job would be to muscle test it, check it against the part that's irritated, or do your food log and track it. I can't tell you how many people will tell me, they're like, I'm on track, and I'm doing this thing because I was having this problem because I was told to do it. And they don't check it. They don't track it. Tracking is your friend. Somebody said something once like data is freedom. Facts are freedom. Who said that? Facts are freedom. It's so true. You get the facts and then it's, oh, that's what bothered me. Okay. So that is not the answer to that. I will tell you though, however, that my two favorite for helping you get over acid reflux are standard process Gastrex creates a poultice. A poultice is in the old days, they would make it like it was a bunch of herbs together that they would put over a wound so that it could heal. That's what a poultice is. It's a bunch of herbs squished together over a wound. So they put a poultice together. Anyway, so the Gastrex is poultice for your stomach. So you take that before you eat. So it creates a barrier against your very irritated stomach and esophagus, which is the tube. And then you put Zypan on there and it helps create the right acid level. And you know that you have too much Zypan. I'll have the information of that below. You have too much Zypan, if it starts to burn, and then you just lower the amount of Zypan. And that's the most common. Common solution, but does it work for everyone? No. Why not? Because we're all so different. We're all so different. And so it's trial and error. And a lot of people will be like, I'm so tired of this. I'm done. I'm so done with this. But they don't stop and they keep going because to them, their health is more important than the pain in the butt it is to figure out what's going on. And here's the thing. You got to start looking at yourself for the answers. Not me. I'm more like a guide to here's our options. Like see what works for you. But ultimately, when the rubber meets the road in your life, your body is the reality of what that is, about what the answer is, what the right answer is. So the other thing is the stress about it. I don't know if this should be another podcast. Okay. So the other is the stress and anxiety that you have about it is doing so much to you. That being neurotic about your food or your supplements or super anxious about it is also damaging to your health. That is a topic for another time. However, chill out about it a little bit and just sit back and observe and don't put all the meaning into it, all the drama into it. Just observe. What is it? What is my observation? What is helping me? What is harming me? What did I change that suddenly things got worse? Maybe you need more of a supplement. Maybe you need less of a supplement. But I guarantee it's probably something you ate. It's probably something that you changed, especially with acid reflux. One thing that I have seen with acid reflux is a lot of times there's not enough vegetables that people are eating when they have that irritated stomach. There's just so much that it could be. And whatever your condition is, whatever your symptoms are, so now we're talking about the symptoms and not a diagnosis, whatever your symptoms are, track what you're eating, and then over 5 days, but be very rigorous about it, because I was working with somebody who couldn't have carrots, super reaction to carrots. And she came in and she's, gosh, I just have I'm still having a reaction and I haven't had any carrots. And I was like, bring in your spices. And she brought in Mrs. Dash, which chemically there's junk in there, but one of the ingredients was carrots. So she got rid of the Mrs. Dash and then suddenly she's feeling better. For most people, it is being off the food for 3 to 9 months. And you'll be able to start reintroducing it again, unless you've created an autoimmune or a major reaction to it. That's most people. Some people, they just can't ever have it again. And some people, they can have it ever so often and it doesn't mess with them. And you figure out what it is for you, and then you can do that. For me, I don't eat. It used to be if I had regular food, I would be in so much pain that it became more important for me to eat all pure food than to eat the other stuff. And now I'm at a place where I can eat the other stuff. But I think on the next podcast, I'll talk to you about neurotic attitudes, super stressed attitudes about food, and how that can mess with you. That can mess with you as well. And then what to do about that. So I hope this helped. So just because your expert of choice says that X works, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And the best thing is to do the tracking. Don't change a lot in your diet. Don't throw anything new in there, because as soon as you do, the game is off. Your investigation has been changed, and that usually happens during the weekend. But just know that you got your facts are not going to be 100%. If you are prone to doing whatever you want on the weekend and you don't eat the best on the weekend, then I would say, when would you do that? Then you might, I don't know when you would do that, because we're talking about a 5-day lag, right? Because that's 10 days. So you might have to let go of doing certain things over the weekend. So you can, this is an experiment. You're doing research on yourself to find out how to best love and care for this beautiful body that you have. And that takes discipline and making hard choices. I don't know that it's a hard choice. That's perspective. Is it really that hard of a choice to not take something so that you can love your body with giving it something that it needs, or to find out answers for it? That's a personal thing. Okay, so I hope this helped, and let me know if you have any questions about how that works. Okay, so bottom line is track your food for at least 5 days. That 5-day will give you a lag if you suspected something. If you suspected something, you could also stop taking it for 5 days. And by day 6, you might actually feel better if you suspected something. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for listening or watching.